Thrivers, welcome to High Thrive Live. I'm here with the amazing Mark Johnston. It's been a little while. We were
Yeah,
just talking about it's been before the holidays that we actually had Mark on. So we're super grateful to you, Mark. Thank you for being here live with us today.
I'm excited to be back doing these things. We had to have some shifts in our business, so I was taking care of some other big important things. But I really wanted to get back to being here with all of you. So I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. So with it being Valentine's season, Mark and I just really felt like it would be fun to talk about how to increase some fun, passion, intimacy, romance in your marriage. I don't know how you feel about Valentine's. I understand it can be a very challenging time when your relationship is struggling. There's a lot of kind of bitterness out there about celebrating it. There's also the commercial aspect of Valentine's. But all of that aside, Mark and I, our entire mission is to make sure that marriages thrive and to give you the exact proven process that we've created to help you reconnect with your spouse and to truly have lasting love. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 4 areas of love. We're going to talk about what some common pitfalls are, what some common challenges are that we see in relationships and why they start to struggle, as well as a few important tips on how to increase that fun, that passion, and that intimacy. So just a little bit of housekeeping. You're joining us live. Welcome. Let us know you're there. Where are you coming from? How do you feel about Valentine's? Maybe we'll do a quick poll. Don't get too heated. And if you have any specific questions for Mark and I while we're live, we'd love to be able to help you out. So, Mark, let's talk about first what are some common kind of pitfalls that we see, some common challenges that we see in the area of passion, fun, romance in a marriage.
So I really like the topic because okay, I'm going to give a story here.
Mm-hmm.
This was a way back. My wife and I. So my family, we come from a big family. We've been fortunate enough that my parents, for the longest time, up until maybe recent years, every summer they'd rent out a beach house for me, my brothers and sisters, my nieces and nephews, the whole family. Now, and with a family of 8 kids, that was a lot of people. But I remember being at the beach house one year, and I think I've been married with my wife just a couple years. We had a new baby, and we were like sitting there, really sitting close on the couch. I think my wife Jen was sitting on my lap or something, and I remember my brother-in-law coming up, and he said something along the lines. He said, "You should enjoy this while it lasts." He said, eventually you get into this place where marriage is just more of a partnership, and that statement stuck out to me because I didn't really believe it. I thought that sounds odd. And my wife, it stuck out to her. I mean, she even mentioned this same thing just, I think, last week. And it was in a moment, her and I being 13 years married, and still in that same position with her sitting on my lap on the couch while we were watching some shows. And it was pointed out because we were like, okay, well, something was missing there. And some of what ends up happening is people get into this idea, okay, that long-lasting relationships can't have that fun or that passion or that excitement to be around each other. What often happens is it's all well and good when you don't have a lot of the stressors, a lot of the extra things in life. You don't have the kids, you don't have the full-time career, because once you get into those things, you start getting lost in those roles a little bit and become complacent with the relationship. You say, okay, my wife, my husband will be there. They're always there. And so I need to focus down on this because this is important right now. And my husband will be there a little bit later. And people keep saying things like this, and it happens more and more. So either they get lost in their role as a parent or as an employee, as a homemaker, as a mother, father, whatever, or they get lost in themselves and they start losing awareness, understanding, empathy. And because of this, couples start drifting apart. They put a little bit less emphasis on love, and you get into these situations that we hear so often: I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And it's such a shame because there's so many ways to prevent that. Anyways, that's at least what I see with the downfall in this category, this in love and passion here.
So for those listening and watching live and in the replay, can you relate to this? If so, how is it showing up for you? I'm going to be completely transparent. I don't think any marriage can be married for more than a few years without feeling a bit of stagnation, right? And for Ben and I, that is absolutely 100% true. I think what Mark's saying is if we all lived on like a tropical island with no job and no kids,
No worries.
then we would have the passion and the intimacy that we had at the beginning.
Exactly.
But that's not realistic, of course. So I know that for me, like for Ben and I, just getting very caught up in the busyness of life, in job, and having children, we go into what I call robot mode, where we're just going through the motions and we're just trying to stay on top of things so that we do disconnect. We do lose that fun. We lose some of that passion, the romance, the intimacy. And what's interesting to note is that those are the very things, when you look back on your relationship, that drew you together, that it contributed to you falling in love. So I have a question for everyone, and I'd love to hear your answers if you're following us live. What percentage of marriages end in divorce? First question. Okay, that's a pretty well-known statistic. And what percentage of marriages are actually happy? Okay, so we'll get back to that in a little bit. So as you put your answers into the chat, I will get back to that. Mark, let's go into what the 4 areas of love really are and why they're so important to understand so that we can increase fun, passion, intimacy, and romance.
So this is just kind of a fun thing that I like to look at. Well, maybe not fun, but as I'm diagnosing a relationship, because love is not just love. If anyone's looked up at the topic, one of my favorite things about this is just going back to the Greek idea of love, and they actually had like 6 different words. Actually, I was reading another article. It looked like they had added on even a couple up to 8 different words for love. Describing whether that's brotherly love or passionate love or romantic love or companionate love or kind of love between brothers, and all sorts of different types of love. And I think within a relationship specifically, there's even different pieces here. And so I break this down into like likability, whether the two of you can actually get along, whether you actually like each other. And this is an important distinction for my wife Jen and I. Sometimes we don't just say I love you. We say, you know what, I actually really like you in this moment, and that's an important distinction. And we always kind of laugh at that because it's nice to actually like your husband or wife. Another part is that attachment, whether you feel like you are committed, whether you feel like you care and you are close to the other person, whether this is attraction, whether you feel you're pulled towards them and you actually find not just how they look attractive, but the kind of person that they are attractive. And then there's that passion. Are you excited to be with them? Is this fun and exciting? This isn't just sex or romance or sensuality, though that is oftentimes part of the passion. It's more of, is this fun? Like in the title of our live broadcast today, we're talking about fun, intimacy, passion. It is a lot of that fun and excitement and whatnot there. So when we're looking at your relationship, this isn't just a one-dimensional thing. This is, as you might understand, this is a very complicated issue, and you don't ever want to just zero in on like, okay, my husband or my wife said they love me, but they're not in love with me, so all this love is gone. Even that statement is a very mixed sort of statement.
All right, you were making me like speed type there, trying to keep up with you, but I think we did it. So we've got likability, attachment, attraction, and passion.
Yes.
So what are just a few quick tips on how we can increase those in our relationships?
Sure. And I'll just run down the list. So likability, I do think that what needs to go on there is you need to have a foundation of kindness and respect. I mean, this is what you get from friends. you want to really make sure that you have a strong foundation in the relationship. If you have tension, if you have a lot of arguments, you're probably looking at a problem with likability. If with attachment, there are so many things to build up attachment. I'm really looking at probably the most direct approach would be looking at trust and intimacy. So making sure that there's a lot of acceptance and understanding, making sure that there's a lot of encouragement, making sure there's a lot of vulnerability. These are the moments when people are really feeling closest to their partners, and what really builds up a lot of that attachment. If we're looking at attraction, you need to look at yourself. Are you taking care of yourself? And I don't mean just physically, but I also do mean physically, because it is really easy to let yourself go. And I'll say this, whereas certainly looks are not the emphasis in my relationship. Here's the thing: is if my wife gets dressed up and really makes herself look nice for an evening out with me, that sends a message, and it helps with a lot of that attraction. Whereas of course I find my wife very beautiful regardless, it is a little bit of that added effort that she is taking care of herself. And this applies to other areas. If my wife is, I also find it very attractive that she takes time to, she has like a weekly mastermind where she talks with other people about improvement. This is in and of itself also something very attractive here. So the big question is, are you taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, nutritionally, spiritually? That's going to build up attraction. If we're talking about passion, no matter where you're at, you will probably be able to build up passion if you are focusing, if you're trying to create more spontaneity, a little bit more flirtation, a little bit more excitement, a little bit more, you're trying to introduce new things. This will generally create more passion in a relationship.
So good. I love that. All right. And I lost our comments. For some reason, they're not updating. So hopefully our connection isn't lost to y'all. If you can still see and hear me, okay, let me know. And again, I was looking for those percentages of what couples you think are actually happy in marriage, right? And the percentage that end in divorce, okay? Just important to have this perspective, because we can absolutely be married and completely not like each other. You can love someone and be committed to them and have no attraction for them, right? And so that's why we have these 4 areas of love. And I would just encourage you each to do a quick check-in with yourself and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likable am I? Let's make this really real. I don't even really like myself, maybe. I'm going to rate myself a 3. I've been a grouch. I've been complaining. I've been criticizing. I've been stonewalling. I've been nagging. I've been withdrawing, whatever it might look like. And I'm sorry. There goes my cell phone. I don't even know where it is.
Oh, live broadcasting.
Oh, sorry. And it's my mom. All right. Sorry, Mom. I have to get back to you in a little bit. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how, do I have that attachment? Am I trustworthy? Do I give intimacy? Am I allowing myself to be vulnerable, right? Am I allowing that door to be open to have some deep attachment? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how attractive am I? Am I happy? Happy people are very attractive, right? Just happiness radiates attraction. It will draw people to you. It will draw your spouse to you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how attractive am I? Or am I repelling people with my attitude, my hygiene, my looks, my self-care, any of those?
I want to emphasize here that at one point you were absolutely attractive. And even if I do hear at times, unfortunately, a lot of people saying, physically I'm unattractive, but at some point you were. And on top of that, you can absolutely make, that physical attractiveness is not like a set value. Take care of your diet, take care of your, get to the gym, take care of your, maybe you need to go adjust your wardrobe, but there's absolutely things to adjust that if that is a concern for you. Now, like I said, I want to emphasize that's not the emphasis. It's just a broader attraction on many levels.
Right. And there's a spiritual attraction, there's emotional attraction, mental attraction. So where are you in each of those areas? You know, if you're fighting a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, and you're not taking care of your mental health, that's definitely going to become another barrier in your relationship. And all of those different things. And if you have a lot of self-doubt, a lot of limitations, a lot of limiting beliefs, those are going to prevent you from, you know, any of these areas as well. So just do a real quick check-in with yourself. Be really honest. Wherever you are, it's okay. But being aware of where you are is the first step to truly making a change. So our last area is passion. On a scale of 1 to 10, you know, how passionate are you? How passionate of a person are you? How passionate is your relationship? Passion is also another very attractive thing. They all kind of link together, but they're each important in their own areas as well. So, okay, cool. I'm getting a few more comments, but still no percentages of marriages. So I don't know what's going on. Either you're ignoring me or I'm not seeing them.
I want to point out something here that there, you know, I always like crossing theories and crossing ideas. And, you know, I generally see if there's, if you find very similar truths in multiple areas, there must be something to that. So, and I know this is referencing some of our other ideas, but, you know, I do get these ideas from other places as well. So I'm going to point out that a lot of these things correlate to some basic emotional needs for some variety and fun in your life, and needs for some connection and belonging, and needs for some certainty and safety and comfort, you know, that likability there, you know, dropping some of that tension. You know, having, you know, this is not just love. This has a broader application.
That is all right. All right. So we did get a comment here that 50% end in divorce, Christian and secular marriages. That is correct. It's actually dropping a little bit. Current statistics are showing more like 49, 48%. And then we just got this one, 15% are probably happy and 50% divorced. Yep. So the latest research is showing that like more than half are now ending in divorce, and about 16% claim to have a happy marriage. So bottom line is that while it is rare, it is absolutely possible. And Mark and I, we're not just about having a marriage or about saving marriage, we're about a thriving marriage. And wherever you are on that scale, wherever you rated yourself on that scale of 1 to 10 in those areas, you can get to the next level incrementally, you know, with time and with consistency. So thanks for joining us. And I'm just going to share with you guys a gift that we have for you. We put together a free guide. Let me see if I can show it here. This is like getting super techie. Let's see. It has my name on there for some reason. Oh, it's so tiny. Oh, let's solo it. Oh, yeah. There we go. Boom. Oh, we're getting so legit now. So this is our free guide of our 4 areas of love. And if you would like to have your own copy where you can have this, let's see. Now I'm trying to hide it. How do I get rid of you? Ah, there we go. Now I'm solo. Oh, my goodness. Well, I guess I'm going to end because I don't know how to bring Mark.
I'm here. I'm here, but it's just, yeah.
Anyway, I thought I was getting all cool, and now I totally took him out of the room. Anyway. Oh, I love.
I think I was hearing you the whole time. I could see things, but it looks like I'm in the show now. Yeah. We're trying to figure this out, the Be Live. They've made some adjustments.
Anyway, that was cool for a minute while I got to show you my screen. So if you want that free guide that we put together, then just put 4 areas into the comments. Just type in 4 areas because we're talking about the 4 areas of love, and we will send that to you. I'd like you to take some time with it and really dig deep and rate yourself on where you are, and then follow the next steps that are given on how to increase those areas in your relationship. Now, Mark and I, we specifically help couples where one spouse is pushing for divorce, one spouse is checked out, pushing for separation. And I understand that sometimes when we're talking about, you know, having this truly thriving marriage, having fun, passion, intimacy, romance, that can seem like a really big jump from where you are. And I want you to know that that's okay. Our job is to give you the vision to show you the possibilities and to show you the reality that we have truly helped couples go from where you are to get to this place. However, it takes time. It takes a proven system, step by step, with the guidance of an expert, and time to get there. What Mark and I have found in coaching now hundreds of couples and saving so many marriages is that if your spouse is pushing for separation or divorce, then the best thing that we can do is actually buy your time. What we want to do is slow down the process. And if we can buy 6 months of time, then we're almost guaranteed that we'll be able to save your relationship. And so it's about giving that buffer of time that then allows you to truly reconnect. So that's what our program is designed to do. So if you want to know more about that, then put in the comments, buy me some time. If your spouse is pushing away, you're headed towards divorce, things are on that end of the spectrum, you really want to turn things around, but you just don't know how because it's overwhelming. And I get it. 98% of the people that come to us have no idea why their spouse is pushing away. So if that sounds like you, then just put in the comments, buy me some time, and we will help you get there. So thank you so much, Mark. I'm sorry we can't see you anymore, but we deeply appreciate your guidance and appreciate everyone for coming. Our heart, our appreciation, and our love go out to you. You all have a fantastic time and day and week, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye.